Hello, everyone. Have you ever imagined in the future living in a beautiful place? No more wars, no more people starving, and a chance to live a life that you always dreaming of. But before we can get here in paradise, we will have to go through the battle of Armageddon, which no one today knows when that day is going to happen. I found something in a book. It woke me up. It actually let me know when Armageddon was going to start. And I'd like to share this information with you and see for yourself what I found, the time frame of Armageddon before you can get to paradise. This is no host, and what I'm showing is proof. So I'd like to share that with you. The page number 228, The Way to Paradise. That's the name of the book. We scroll down. Let us suppose that you are living after the kingdom is established and the blessing have begun to flow out to the people in abundant measure. Of course, it will take some time to get things in smoothly running order after the great stress. This is talking about after the battle of Armageddon, when God would destroy the wicked, and who's ever left here on earth will have a beautiful life. Okay, let's read on. Between now and 1926, it may be 10 years or more before you get your home all fixed up and the garden bringing forth the lustens, even if it takes a while longer, you will be that much better prepared. Amazing. This is talking about after Armageddon, when people would be starting their lives and a better life. So the question is, if Armageddon is after, no, before 1926. What year did Armageddon happen? "1920 millions now living will never die. Therefore, we may confidently expect that 1925 will mark the return of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and the faithful men or the faithful prophets of old, particularly those named by the apostles in Hebrew chapter 11 to conditions of. So what we're looking at, apparently that Armageddon was supposed to start in 1925. And 1926 is after Armageddon. But the funny thing about it, who in the world published 2 books? One's called The Way to Paradise, and the other, Millions Now Living Will Never Die. Who published these 2 books proclaiming that Armageddon was supposed to happen in these 2 dates? Here's the title of the book, The Way to Paradise. The Way to Paradise. A brief history of 7,000 years of sin, from the time when sin was unknown to the time when again there will be no more sin. And it talks about Michael became Jesus, Lucifer became Satan, and it was published by the International Bible Students and this book was written in 1924. International Bible Students. And it shows this book was written in London, Brooklyn, New York, and these other places. So that means Jehovah Witnesses president at that time was Judge Rutherford. He wrote the book of Millions Now Living Will Never Die, The Harp of God, and those 2 books has the date of 1925, and 1925 is when the world was supposed to ended and Armageddon was supposed to start. I'm going to throw a bonus in. The same book, The Way to Paradise, you can PDF it, page 145. The price no, the prince of this world, showing that Jesus is lying down on a pole? No, it can't be. His right arm is fastened to a beam, and they're trying to pull his other arm down to fasten to another beam. So that means in their own book that Jesus died on a cross, not a pole. Otherwise, both his arms will be above his head. Very interesting. So my question is, to get from Armageddon to paradise, will we be able to get there not having the original Bible students and Jehovah Witnesses? Because between both of them predicted the world was going to end in 1925, and Armageddon was going to, after 1926, that's when everybody was going to be able to put the pieces together. If their house was destroyed at Armageddon, they was able to fix their home and be able to plant gardens and start having a wonderful life. This just shows that Jehovah Witnesses is a false prophet, because their president predicted the world was going to end in 1925. And this book shows after 1926 that the conditions of the earth was going to be better than what it would be today. So the question is, why didn't Armageddon start in 1925, and after 1926, how come there is no paradise, that what we're looking at right now? How come they didn't started in 1926 when Judge Rutherford was still alive? Very interesting. Does that make him a false prophet? In my book, it does. Thank you, and have a nice day.